going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. The Arizona Diamondbacks are going to the World Series. You heard that right. No one expected that at the start of the season. The Texas Rangers and Arizona Diamondbacks are in the World Series. Who would have thought? Arizona beat the Phillies 4-2 last night in Game 7. What was a great game. Arizona jumped on the Rangers Suarez early. The Phillies actually went to Zach Wheeler in the middle of the seventh inning or the seventh inning, and he pitched into the ninth. But Arizona, Brandon Pfaadt, he pitched okay. Thompson came in and ate some innings. Arizona, what a squad! They are incredible offensively. Corbin Carroll having maybe the best rookie year ever. Probably one of the 5 best rookie years ever. He had a 30-30 year. This year in the regular season, he hit 280, 300. He was a Gold Glove caliber defender. He's been phenomenal in the postseason. Had 3 hits and was on base 4 times. A couple RBIs last night, or maybe 1 RBI on a sac fly or something. We got so many good young players. Alec Thomas, Gabriel Moreno. The Blue Jays gotta be kicked for trading him. They traded him and Tesker. They traded Tesker Hernandez to Seattle and Gabriel Moreno. They sent him to Arizona for Dalton Varsho. That did not work out in their favor, to say the very least. They have so many phenomenal players. And then, Ketel Marte is a great player. He's got a 16-game postseason hitting streak. He'd never played in the playoffs before. He's had a hit in every playoff game this year. He's been phenomenal. He's a great player. Geraldo Perdomo is a good player. The veteran leadership of Evan Longoria. That lineup is really underrated. It is phenomenal. And the pitching is held up. Zach and America at the top of that rotation have been phenomenal all year, especially in the playoffs. And the rest of the rotation on paper isn't very good. Their third starter has been Brandon Pfaadt. Wasn't great in the regular season, but he's held up. Even throughout the playoffs wasn't great, but he held up this series. Got this kid Ryan Thompson, or no-name guys guy lucky to be in the majors almost. And he's pitched well in the playoffs. Their bullpen's held up, and the back end's been very good. Paul Sewell, their closer. They got the trade line from Seattle, and the trade was kind of knocked because they gave up a lot for him. Has been really good. Kevin Ginkel, who's their citizen, he's been really good. Shout out to Tor Luvola, who in the past I've been a little critical of. He's not had a ton of success there. They finally were able to develop some talent, and look at that. They went from being last year they had 110 losses, and now they're in the World Series a year later. Things change very quickly in sports. You look, the Texas Rangers had 90 loss year after 90 loss year, and now they're in the World Series. The Baltimore Orioles had 100 loss year after 100 loss year, and this year they had the best record in the American League. In the regular season, the Arizona Diamondbacks last year had lost 110 baseball games. Haven't been relevant in years. And now they're in the World Series. This should be a fun World Series. Not sure how good the ratings will be, but it should be fun. It should be entertaining. Two high-powered offenses. I got the Texas Rangers winning in 6 games. At this point, it's hard to doubt the Diamondbacks, but I think that lineup is really scary. And, their pitching has held up. Their rotation's been very good. The back half of their bullpen's been really good. They're very well coached by Bruce Bochy. Arizona's got a great lineup as well. But, the pitching, although it's held up, is a little thin. Although they're well coached by Tor Luvola, I think Texas I think they overpowered the Arizona Diamondbacks in 6 games. But should be a fun series. So, the San Francisco Giants officially hired Bob Melvin as their manager. So, interesting that San Diego announced they're going to bring him back and then let him go to take another job. So he is now in San Francisco. Bob Melvin's been around a long time. He was at one point in Arizona. I believe he was in Oakland for a while. That's where he had the most success. He was manager of the year a couple of times. Then he was in San Diego the last couple of years. 2 years ago, made the playoffs and came out of the wild card and went to the NLCS, losing to Philadelphia last year. This year, we're a major disappointment. Spending all that money, having the second highest payroll in baseball, and missing the playoffs entirely after being picked to possibly a World Series contender. I picked them to win the World Series this year. That did not work out. They did not even make the playoffs. And, I mean, he's getting older. And, I was critical of him throughout the year. I thought they should have moved on. They needed to change. But he is a great manager. He's won manager like 4 times. He's had success basically wherever he's been. He had some success in Arizona. He had a lot of success in Oakland. He even had, last year had success in San Diego, as best as the team was this year. I think there's definitely an overall, he was not getting along with AJ Power, the GM. Apparently their relationship was apparently beyond repair, and there's a lot of clubhouse issues. Now he gets a fresh start in San Francisco, who gets an upgrade over Gabe Kapler, who I don't think is a bad manager. He's just okay, but Nelvin's had a great career, so I do think he's an upgrade. All right, so let's talk about some hockey score. NHL's been underway these last couple of weeks. Toronto beats the Capitals 4-1. You have the Sabres over the Senators 6-4. Lightning over the Hurricanes 3-0. Devils over the Canadiens 5-2. Devils look pretty good, 3-1-1 on the season. Stars over the Penguins 4-1. The Stars are not lost in regulation yet, 4-0-1 so far. And the Penguins are at 2-4, so they're not off to a great start. Of course, they're very early on. Panthers beat the Sharks 3-1. Avalanche over the Islanders 7-4 in a high-scoring game. Avalanche 6-0 this year. Of course, 2 years they won the Cup last year. Were shocked in the first round, losing to Seattle in 7 games. They should be a Cup contender this year. They look really good. The Islanders are 2-2-1 on the year. Kraken on the Red Wings 5-4. In overtime, they're also a bit of a slow start, but they pick up a win. They're at 2-4-1. Detroit looks good, though. That was actually, they only have one regulation loss. That was the second overall loss this year. They're 5-1-1. Ducks over the Blue Jackets 3-2 in overtime. Yeah, the Bruins over the Blackhawks 3-0. Bruins are 6-0 in the air. So they're off to a hot start. Blackhawks don't look good. They're 2-5. No surprise. They are not a good hockey team. Jets over the Blues 4-2. Yeah, the Wild over the Oilers 7-4. Canucks over the Predators 3-2. Rangers over the Flames 3-1. Rangers look good. They are 4-2 on the air. Got the young guys are stepping up. Lafreniere and Hito look very good. Instead of these young guys step up, the Rangers should be one of the league's best teams. If not, they'll probably be a first or second round exit yet again. And Kings over the Coyotes 6-3. Golden Knights over the Flyers 3-2. Golden Knights are 7-0 so far this year. So they so far have not lost. Their last loss came in, probably game, 3 or something of the Stanley Cup Final last year. So they are just dominating right now. Let's talk about some NBA scores. NBA was opening night last night. Nuggets over the Lakers, 119-107. Jokic, 29-13-11, picking up right where he left off. He had the Who's Your Daddy chant from Nuggets crowd, quieting the Lakers, LeBron and the Lakers. And the Suns over the Warriors, 108-104. The Suns were banged up, but I did not have Bradley Beal. I don't think they had Kevin Durant either. But Devin Booker had 32, 6, and 8. Steph had 27 in the loss, so Suns pick up a win over the Warriors in Game 1. And tonight, we got a full slate of games for the NBA, so get ready for that. All right, so I'm going to talk about some wrestling now, and then we got some football. I got a couple of news about football, and then we're going to do game picks for college football, and then some NFL, and then your NFL game picks. Today is Wednesday, so it's game pick day. SmackDown Friday of last week. It started out, Paul Heyman came out and was crap talking LA Knight. Now, LA Knight came out and spat it right back at him. It was a really good promo. Of course, you shoved the mic into the chest of Paul Heyman at the end, which looked a little painful for poor Paul Heyman. Other stuff to happen, you had Montez Ford defeated Santos Escobar on a roll-up, and then the Street Profits started beating the crap out of him, but then Corito came and saved the day. Then you had that weird, video package of Alba Fry and Isla Dawn from the, trying to go into women's tag team champions. Didn't really care much for that. Then you had Logan Paul came out. Of course, he won his boxing match against that Danish dude last week, and he came out, and of course, after his match, he called out Rey Mysterio. And then he comes on, he's like, all right, I'm not looking to talk about Rey Mysterio. Then he was talking as he does. Then Rey comes out, and he was like, do you want he asked him, do you want a title shot? He's like, yeah. So he was like, all right, challenge accepted. So, and then Logan extended his hand to shake his hand. Rey was hesitant at first, knowing how Logan Paul is, but then did shake his hand, though Logan Paul didn't do anything. So it'll be Ray against Logan Paul for the U.S. Title at Crown Jewel. And then Kevin Owens sit in the interview talking about, being moved to SmackDown, saying he was disappointed to be being flipped from Sami Zayn, but it's bittersweet. He's looking forward to the opportunity. And EO Sky defeated Charlotte Flair to retain the WWE Women's Championship. Of course, he had some distractions. Charlotte was about to win, but then Bayley put EO Sky's foot on the bottom rope, and the referee didn't see it. And Charlotte lost it, and then went after Bayley. But then Dakota Kai slid the title belt to EO Sky, and when Charlotte got back in the ring, tried to spear her again. She speared, went right into the title belt. EO Sky pinned her and escaped with a victory. All right, so let's talk about some NFL news real quick before we get to the game pick. So Chris Olave was arrested for reckless operation of a motor vehicle. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, but I don't know what it is about these receivers once they play with Derek Carr. Antonio Brown, he started unraveling in Pittsburgh, then he really unraveled once he got with Derek Carr. Then you had, obviously, the Henry Ruggs issue was very unfortunate. And then you have Chris Olave, never heard anything bad about him. Now all of a sudden he gets arrested. So I don't know if it's Derek Carr, but something's up there. Also, my assumption is Derek Carr isn't good. Sorry, he's not that good. Jerome Ford, the Browns back is out a week or two with an ankle sprain. That's tough because obviously you already lose probably the league's best back and Nick Chubb for the year. I'm sure if he might miss part of next year as well for a really bad knee injury. And Jerome Ford, who was stepping up as a starter, now he's out a week or two. So now Kareem Hunt, who they brought back off the street, is now their starting back. He has the last couple. First couple games he looked definitely rusty and looked washed. His last couple games he's played well. He played well last week. He had the game-winning touchdown last week. He's played well the last 2 weeks. So we'll see what he does. Dawson Knox, the Bills sign, had wrist surgery. No timetable for a return. So now Dalton Kincaid is now was kind of like the 1A, 1B, their first round pick. Now he's now the main starter now. And Kareem Jackson was suspended 4 games. The Broncos defensive back. He's had several illegal hits this year to the head, resulting in the personal fouls. He was just suspended 4 games. All right, let's talk some game pick. We'll start off college football this week. It is week 9 for college football. Starting the ACC, number 4, Florida State against Wake Forest. I got Florida State. They should win easily. They're very good. Wake Forest isn't great. That should be an easy one. Number 6, Oklahoma against Kansas. It could be a decent game. Kansas is okay this year. Oklahoma, the only game they really had to get up for is Texas. That probably game of the year to this point. And Oklahoma picked up a win. But then they should be Kansas. Probably, I'll say probably a 2-score game. Number 10, Penn State against Indiana. Penn State should roll. Indiana is horrible. Their football team is really only had really one good year in that 1 year a few years ago. It was Justin Fields' last year at Ohio State. They were good. Other than that, they've always been awful. Number 1, Georgia against Florida. Georgia should kill them. Florida is not very good at all. I definitely got Georgia now. And number 7, Texas against BYU. I'm taking Texas. BYU's not awful this year, but Texas, I think, overmatches them. Number 8, Oregon against number 13, Utah. This should be a phenomenal game, but I'm going to take Oregon. Oregon's really, really good. Bo Nix has been phenomenal. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards, 19 touchdowns against 1 pick. Utah is solid as they are every year, but I think Oregon overpowers them, and they pick up a win. Pitt against number 14, Notre Dame. I got Notre Dame. Pitt is awful. Sam Hartman's very good. Number 20, Duke against number 18, Louisville. ACC matchup, 2 teams, more known for their basketball. The Louisville basketball's kind of sucked really ever since Rick Pitino left. Who are surprisingly good this year when it comes to football. I'm going to take Duke. Louisville's favored by 4. I'm going to take Duke in this one. I know Louisville's definitely been a pleasant surprise. Being in the top 20. A couple weeks ago, they were ranked as high as 14th. Duke and all, they're a game worse than Louisville, but I'm going to take Duke. I think they're a very good team. I like what Mike Elko has done there. They're solid. I'm going to take Duke in that one. Number 22, Tulane against Rice. I'm going to take Tulane. Tulane the last couple years has been very good. Were phenomenal last year. Not quite as good as this year, but those in the American Conference, you never know when the 2 teams play each other, but I got Tulane in that one. Number 5, Washington against Stanford. Washington should win, no problem. Washington's really good this year. Michael Penix to me is the Heisman favorite. He's going for over 2,500 yards, 20 touchdowns against 5 picks. Stanford is awful. I'm taking Washington. Number 19, Air Force against Colorado State. I'm going to take Air Force. Air Force is, for real, they are in the top 20. Did not think that would happen. A lot of teams have come out of nowhere. I mean, like, top 20 been ranked. Air Force in the top 20 right now. Louisville in the top 20. Louisville at one point was top 15. Duke in the top 20. James Madison's ranked right now. Our Fresno Saints been ranked at times this year. Crazy. Air Force, they have not lost yet. I'm going to take them over Colorado State. Number 21, Tennessee against Kentucky. And in the SEC matchup, I'm just going to take Kentucky in an upset here. They can run the ball really, really well. I think they're going to run the ball really well against Tennessee, so I'll take Kentucky. Number 3, Ohio State against Wisconsin. I got Ohio State for sure. Wisconsin isn't great. Tanner Mordecai is kind of eh. Ohio State should win, no problem. Not sold on them. I think Ryan Day is a terrible coach. Don't think they beat Michigan, but they'll beat Wisconsin. Vanderbilt against number 12, Ole Miss. Ole Miss by a lot. Vanderbilt's awful as they are every year. Ole Miss is very good this year. Since they're 6-1, I'll take Ole Miss. Colorado against number 23, UCLA. I got UCLA. Colorado, obviously, they're exciting, they're entertaining with Dion and everything, but they're really not a great football team. UCLA is actually pretty good this year. I'll take UCLA. Number 17, North Carolina against Georgia Tech. I definitely think UNC bounces back. Georgia Tech is not very good. UNC come off a really tough loss to Virginia last week, dropped to 17th in the rankings, but I will take North Carolina. I still think they're the second best team in that conference besides Florida State. You have Old Dominion against number 25, James Madison in a Sun Belt matchup. Definitely taking James Madison, who's actually good this year. So I'll take James Madison. And then number 11, Oregon State against Arizona. I'm taking Oregon State. Could be a closer game, but I think Oregon State will overpower Arizona in this one. All right, so to close up the show, we got game picks for the NFL. Thursday Night Football tomorrow night will be Bucks against the Bills. I got the Bills in this one. Bucks, they aren't great. Baker, people have said, oh, he's playing better. Not really. The first 2 games, he played better. When he played freaking who? Who did he even play? He played nobody. Whenever he's faced competition, he's not been good. He was not great against Philly. Last couple of games has not been good. He's not good. He's not. Bucks been a little better than expected. Obviously, they're in an awful division in the NFC South. And the Bills have been struggling, coming off a really tough loss to the Patriots. Again, they definitely should have won. Josh Allen's had some turnover issues, obviously. But I definitely got the Bills. So then we got next game in the 1 o'clock slate. We got the Rams against the Cowboys. I'm taking Dallas. The Rams, I don't know how much they'll be able to run the ball. I don't think they're going to have. No, they will not. They placed Kieran Williams on an injured reserve. Of course, they already traded Cam Akers away, so their top back right now is Darrell Henderson, who, of course, a few years ago was on the team. But, he was out of the league, he was their top back last week. Their top back right now are Darrell Henderson, Royce Freeman, and Zach Evans. I don't know how much they'll be able to run the ball. And, the Cowboys secondary with Diggs out, I don't love. And the Rams have a really good pass game. They have a lot of weapons. Puka Nacua, he's something else. Cooper Kupp is picking up right where he left off last year. But, and look, Dak Prescott is not good. I've been very clear about that, but I think Dallas sneaks past the Rams. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball at all. And Stafford's going to throw the ball 50 times, and his arm's going to get tired. Vikings-Packers. Okay, this is a freaking not a good game. The 3-4 Vikings against the 2-4 Packers. I don't know who to pick. I'm going to take the Vikings. The Packers defense has been struggling. Even without just Justin Jefferson against the Niners, low defense, Kirk Cousins bowled out. I think he has another nice game. Jordan Addison is a stud. Brandon Powell played well last week. You got Hawkinson. Jordan Love is horrible. That Vikings defense is also awful. But they played well against the Niners this past week. I don't think Packers offense as much as anything, to be honest. I got the Vikings who. But 2 weeks ago, they looked like they were out of the race. Now, all of a sudden, they're crawling back into contention. They beat the Packers, they'll be at 500. And right, just like that, they're right back in the race. With the Lions game blown out last week. Yeah, Airsoft is the division over after all. Falcons-Titans. I'm taking the Falcons. The Titans are so bad. Will Levis is expected to start. Apparently, Mike Malik votes might also apply. Titans are a complete mass age trade. One of their best players, Kevin Byard, to Philly for Terrell Edmonds, who's not very good, and two late picks to Philly. And Atlanta, I hope BJ Robinson plays this week. I would hope he does. They'll be able to run the ball. Titans still not going to be able to score much. I think Will Levis is horrible. Obviously, it's his first 4 games, so you can't judge based off one game. But I had no hope for him. Titans aren't going to score much. It'll be probably a lower scoring game. Atlanta probably wins like 19-9 or something. Saints and Colts, bit of a mid-off. 2, 3, and 4 teams. I'm taking the Colts. I know Gardner Minshew didn't play well last week, but Saints defense is decent, but not as good as it's been in past years. Colts have been running ball down people's throats. I think they should have some more success with that. Derek Carr is not very good. I don't know what the size of Chris Olave is. He's having some multiple field issues. Saints are just the most mid team I've ever seen. I got the Colts sneaking past them. Patriots Dolphins, big AFC East matchup, but I'm taking Miami. I know the Pats played the Bills last week and picked up a huge win. And Mac Jones played really well, by far his best game of the year. But they're not going to stop that Miami offense. Their defense overall is good, but they won't be able to get pressure on Tua, I don't think, and he's going to have too much time to just carve them up. And I think Mac will be under some pressure this week, so I'm taking Miami in that one. Jets Giants. Of course, at MetLife Stadium. They both play in the same stadium. I don't know. The Giants apparently are the home team. I don't know how they figure that out. They both play in the same freaking stadium. I'm taking the Jets. Not to be biased, but that Jets team is going to maul the Giants, whoever's playing quarterback for Giants. Whether it's Tyrod Taylor, whether it's Daniel Jones, at least 5 sacks this week. Should be a low-scoring game. Both teams don't have good offenses. Both have great defense, good defense. The Jets one's definitely better. But I got the Jets. They gotta beat the Giants. If they lose to the Giants, I don't want them to do it myself. I will be very angry. Very, very angry. But I'm taking the Jets in this one. Giants are not gonna... I don't know if the Giants are even gonna score. This game might legitimately be like 10-0. Jaguars Steelers at 1 o'clock. I'm taking the Jags. The Steelers can't score. That offense is pitiful. The play calling is as bad as you could possibly be with Matt Cannon. They can't run the ball. The Jaguars defense has played very well this year. That Steelers defense is phenomenal, but the Jags offense is coming along now. I got Jacksonville on that one. Eagles Commanders. Eagles by a lot. They're favored by 6.5. I think they cover. The Commanders have a great pass rush, but Eagles also have maybe the league's best offensive line. Outside of the D-line, the Commanders defense is awful. Jalen Hurts is going to tear them apart. Eagles are going to get a lot of pressure on Sam Howell. Eagles win by at least 2 scores. Honestly, I think that's what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 34-16 or something. I don't think this game is that close. Commanders are not very good. Until they get rid of Ron Rivera and just retool that squad, they're not going anywhere. Texans Panthers. I'm taking the Texans. Carolina is awful this year. Texans don't have a very good pass rush, which helps Carolina because their offensive line isn't good. But they don't really have any weapons. Anthony Evan's played well outside of him. There's really nothing. I think it's a close game, but I think CJ Stroud has a really good game. I think they carve up that awful Carolina secondary, so I'll take Houston this one. Houston's 3-3 this year. They're a lot better than people expected. 405 Browns against the Seahawks. I'm taking Seattle. The Browns are on their 3rd running back in Kareem Hunt, who wasn't on the team a month ago. I don't know who's playing quarterback, if it's Deshaun Watson, who's looked awful. If it's going to be P.J. Walker, who's not very good, but somehow finds a way. Browns got a great defense, but that Seattle offense is also very good. I'm not sure if DK Metcalf's playing, but they still have a lot of other guys that can hurt you. Seattle does lose Ushena Nwosu, one of their best pass rushers for the year for Torn Pack, but I think Seattle comes out with the win. 425 Chiefs Broncos. Why do these 2 teams keep playing? Another they're in the same division, but who's going to win? The Chiefs have won, 16 straight times? It's going to be 17, or whatever the heck it is. Chiefs by a lot. Denver's not going to be able to stop them, And their offense and Chiefs defense has played well this year as well. This game will not be close. Chiefs are favored by 7.5. They definitely cover that. Chiefs by many points. Ravens, Cardinals. I'm taking the Ravens. Ravens have been playing really well. They're 5-2 this year. Lamar's come off his best game of the year. Arizona, obviously, he's not very good. When they first came out, like, all right, they almost beat Tampa. They almost beat the Giants. They were up three touchdowns at one point. They beat Dallas, but since then, it's been a little downhill. They're awful. Ravens should not have a problem in that one. You got Bengals and 49ers. This should be a good game. I think the Niners bounce back. They're going to get a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow. The Niners defense is also is very, very good. Joe Burrow's going to be under a lot of duress in this game. I know Purdy has struggled the last 2 weeks. I don't think looks like they won't have Debo again, but I think they're trying to get Trent Williams back, which will help. So I think the close game will be a really good game, but I got the Niners bouncing back. Sunday Night Football, Bears Chargers. That's, as I was reading that, I cringed because that's an awful Sunday Night Football game. I'm taking the Chargers. Tyson Bagent played well last week. Was a pleasant surprise. That Chargers defense is awful, but so is the Bears defense. Justin Herbert's going to carve that defense up into pieces. Jerry Bolson and Cleveland are going to get a lot of pressure on Tyson Bagent. I think he'll make some mistakes. I got the Chargers on that one. And then Monday Night Football was Raiders-Lions. Lions by a lot. The Raiders are awful. They might be the worst 3-4 team ever. I know it makes no sense, but this team should be 1-5. If they had a harder schedule, they would be at best 1-6. Team is awful. Lions come off a devastating 38-6 loss to the Ravens, but I think they bounce back. They get their top back, Dave Montgomery. I think they'll get him back this week. The Raiders are not going to be able to stop them. I got the Lions. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm not sure when you'll see me next. Probably won't be till Monday because I'm doing the Firing Squad podcast tomorrow. I know I haven't posted any of those yet. It's a class, so I certain way I gotta do it. So, but those will be posted eventually. I'll give you guys some more info when I have it. Friday, I'm not gonna do a show because I'm actually helping out with something in here that the school's doing. So next time I'll do this show will be Monday. So until next time, so long and have a great day.